So this is around the corner from where I live, Gillott Road. Who is or was Gillott? Let's have a look. Norman gave me a clue and all he said was pens. Let's see what I can find. Aha, so he is a pen manufacturer. And he worked in the Jewellery Quarter. Let's go. And this was his factory in the Jewellery Quarter. I wanted to find a bit more about his work. It just so happens that there's a pen museum just around the corner. Come with me to take a look. So Brian, you're one of the founders of the pen.
That's right, Roberto, yeah. Do take a seat.
Thank you. I live near Gillott Road and he was famous of making his pen nibs. Is that right?
It's very true, yeah. He was one of the famous pen makers. In point of fact, he got more attention than a lot of the others, so that he had this big pen factory, which if we look out the window here, we could see his factory across the road. And you're quite right, Gillott Road was called after him because he was a very rich man and he had a big estate just off the Hagley Road there, Gillott Road, and interesting enough, the Stanmore Road also, because he had a big estate in Stanmore in Middlesex. Shall we go and have a look?
Yes.
Here we are. Well, the first thing perhaps we could look at is your favourite, Joseph Gillott.
They said of Joseph Gillott that he was the wickedest man alive because he made people steal pens and said they did right. When Joseph Gillott died in 1872, the company was producing 150 million pens a year and employed 450 people. The company carried on and his sons had the company until it eventually became part of the British Pens in 1969. So what do you have to do to make a pen?
This is a hand press, so you have to take the handle there and you have to give it a very hard pull towards you. Bit hard.
It's a bit hard.
Don't take it back there. Jerk it. You know what I mean? Yeah. The next thing we need to do is to pierce it. All the operatives at the presses in the pen trade were women, and they had to make 18,000 of their process each day. That's it, you've done it. So the next thing to do is to put the size of the nib and the manufacturer's name. So the next thing is to give the shape to the nib. So we put it on its back in there, and it's the same process again. So if you pull that towards you.
The final process is slitting.
The women were working, they had to do one every 2 seconds. Without a slit, it wouldn't hold enough ink for you to write with the pen. Did you hear it?
Yeah. And this is a vault where Joseph Gillott was buried in 1872.
You're watching the History Show, which brings the past up to date. Today we think there are only 2 pen manufacturers left in the Jewellery Quarter. One of them, Jack Rowe, doesn't just make ordinary pens. I went to see him. So why did you start this business?
Well, I went to the School of Jewellery in Birmingham, and one thing that I saw that was constantly getting bigger every year was the luxury pen market. And so for my major project for my degree, I designed a prototype for a wacky, amazing fountain pen, which then caught the interest of Harrods in London.
So the thing that got your publicity this year was your £29,000 pen. Do all pens cost that much?
No, that's the most expensive pen in terms of retail value that I make. But the actual the collections of pens, they start at around £2,000 retail.
Jack designs his pens on a computer.
It's a resin model which is produced, and that model is then used to cast in silver or gold the outer part of the pen.
So the next stage is?
The next stage is to produce the inner part of the pen, which is made from solid silver, and this starts off from the silver mines in Spain. So I have to spend a number of weeks refining the finish using firstly some larger hand files to take the outside of the surface down, I then move on to using these small watchmaker's files, which are used to clean up and remove the imperfections, polish the outside of the silver or the gold.
So does this outer casing also have to be polished, Jack?
Yes, it does.
So where are the diamonds then?
Okay, well, I don't normally have much in stock because everything's made to order, but I do have a few locked away.
Tiny. The black diamonds are very small. Are you ever afraid that you're going to lose them?
It does happen from time to time, and you'll drop one on the floor and not realise until you come to sweep the floor later, and you'll find something sparkly in amongst all the dust. Yes, they come in these handmade oak cases, which are also made by a local company, and these are solid oak, and they're lined with velvet with my logo and branding attached, and also this display stand, which you can take out of the box to put on your desk.
Do you think that in this present day it is morally right to buy a pen for that much money?
But it's not just a pen, it's got a lot of gold and a lot of diamond. You're essentially buying a piece of art as well, and as I said, the main market is export, so any pens that I sell, generally if they're abroad or from somebody visiting the country, that's money which is coming into the country, and you're having VAT applied to it, income tax, as well as also all the other craftsmen that are involved in making the pieces in the Jewellery Quarter. That's also helping to keep their businesses going, and we all support each other together.
So lots of other local businesses are involved?
Yes, definitely. There's at least I think about 5 or 6 Jewellery Quarter companies that help me to make my pen. I'm very proud to be part of the sort of the heritage of the Jewellery Quarter. You know, there's a long history of goldsmithing and design and creation, as well as obviously as you've seen pen making and nib making in particular. It's also great to think that, you know, that we're all supporting the local economy and bringing money into the area. And I hope that, as you know, my business is very small at the moment, as it progresses, that you know, the heritage of pen making will start to re-emerge even more in the quarter, and it will become hopefully once again a thriving industry.
TNT News, bang up to date.